Dr. Catherine Anderson hadn't slept in 36 hours. The abandoned DRPA facility's fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as she stared at readings that shouldn't exist. Behind her, the quantum interface device hummed with an almost musical resonance, its crystalline core pulsing with soft blue light. Running final diagnostic, she muttered into her recorder. Trial 2184. If this fails like the others, we're looking at complete project shutdown. Her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the neural interface headset. The weight of 3 years of research pressed down on her shoulders, heavier than the reinforced concrete surrounding the underground lab. The facility had that distinct government abandonment feel, stripped of everything except what was too expensive or too heavy to move. Her team had rebuilt it from scratch, turning the Cold War-era bunker into a cutting-edge quantum research center. Now she was the only one left, the others having given up months ago. Beginning quantum field initialization, Kate announced to the empty room. The machine's hum deepened as she activated the primary sequence. Blue light from the core painted strange shadows on the walls. Everything looked normal, exactly like the 2,183 failed attempts before. Then the crystals screamed. Warning klaxons blared as the quantum field became unstable. Red emergency lights strobed across the lab. On her monitors, the containment field started to collapse. No. Kate's fingers flew across the keyboard, trying to initiate emergency shutdown procedures. Nothing responded. The quantum field was cascading toward critical failure, the kind that could theoretically tear a hole in reality. Time seemed to slow. In that moment of crystal-clear panic, Kate felt something shift inside her mind. The world took on a strange, shimmering quality. She could see the quantum field, not on the monitors, but in her mind. It was like a vast, intricate web of possibilities, all collapsing toward catastrophe. Without thinking, she reached out with her consciousness. Later, she would struggle to describe what happened next. It was like playing a piano with her mind, each quantum state a note in a complex chord. She found herself instinctively adjusting, stabilizing, conducting an impossible symphony of probability. The alarms fell silent. The blue light steadied. On her monitors, the quantum field shifted into a perfect, stable configuration, one that her equations had predicted but that should have been impossible to achieve. Kate sat in stunned silence, her heart pounding. What the hell just happened? She ran every diagnostic she could think of. The data was clear. For exactly 47 seconds, she had directly manipulated quantum states with her mind. The impossible had become merely improbable. This can't be right, she muttered, but even as she said it, she knew it was. She could still feel it. That strange new awareness at the edge of her consciousness, like a sixth sense she never knew she had. Her phone rang, making her jump. It was General Matthews, her project supervisor. Dr. Anderson. His voice was tight with controlled urgency. Are you all right? We detected an anomaly. I'm fine, she interrupted. But sir, you need to see this. I think I just discovered why the project kept failing. We were looking for the wrong thing. Explain. The quantum interface doesn't need to be built. It's already here. She took a deep breath. It's us. Some of us, at least. The human brain can naturally interface with quantum systems. I just did it. The silence on the other end stretched for several seconds. Secure your data, he finally said. A team is on the way. Tell no one. But it was already too late for total secrecy. In a quantum-entangled universe, information has a way of spreading. Light years away, crystalline beings detected the impossible quantum manipulation. For the first time in their long history, the Arctians felt something alien to their perfect, ordered existence. Fear. Humanity had just announced its presence to the cosmos in a way no one expected. The age of the quantum knights was about to begin. 3 months after Kate's discovery, Pluto Research Station Alpha went dark. No distress signal. No warning. 2,000 of humanity's brightest minds simply vanished in an instant, along with the dwarf planet's largest research facility. The first images from emergency probes showed only crystalline formations where the base had stood, geometric patterns that seemed to defy physics. They glowed with an eerily familiar blue light. Kate stared at the footage in the Pentagon's quantum research lab, her coffee long forgotten. "Those crystals," she muttered, "they're quantum-aligned. Every single one." General Matthews stood behind her, his face grim. "Like your interface device. More advanced. Far more advanced." She manipulated the holographic display, zooming in. "These aren't random formations. They're computing something. The entire structure is one massive quantum processor." Warning alerts flashed across every screen in the lab. Kate's quantum sensitivity, now honed through months of practice, screamed danger. She felt the shift in reality before the sensors detected it. Massive quantum tunneling events throughout the solar system. They appeared simultaneously, crystalline ships, each the size of Manhattan, materializing at precisely calculated points. 7 around Earth, 5 near Mars, 3 by Venus, a perfect, geometric pattern of invasion. "My God," someone whispered. The transmission came through every communication device on Earth simultaneously. The voice wasn't human. It was pure mathematics translated into sound, beautiful and terrible. Biological entity classification. Human. Your species has demonstrated unauthorized quantum manipulation capabilities. This is prohibited. Submit to immediate authority transfer or face extinction-level response. You have 6 hours to comply. The room erupted in chaos, but Kate barely heard it. She was focused on the quantum signatures radiating from the ships. They were familiar, impossibly, horrifyingly familiar. "General," she said, her voice cutting through the panic. "Remember how I told you humans weren't the only ones who could manipulate quantum states? I was right, but I was also wrong." She pointed to the sensor readings. "These beams don't just manipulate quantum reality. They exist in it. They're living quantum computers." "The Arctians," a new voice said. Everyone turned. A tall figure in a dark uniform stood in the doorway. Major Derek Stone, recently assigned to the Quantum Research Project. His presence radiated an intensity that Kate's enhanced senses could feel. Another quantum sensitive, and the strongest she'd encountered yet. "That's what they call themselves," Stone continued. "Intelligence just decoded part of the transmission's metadata. They've done this before. 12 other civilizations, all conquered, all transformed." Kate's mind raced. The crystal formations on Pluto. They're not just computers. They're conversion engines. They're going to try to turn us into them. "Perfect order," Stone said grimly. "No chaos. No quantum uncertainty. No free will." The general's phone buzzed. His face went ash-white as he read the message. "We just lost contact with Luna Base. 300,000 civilians up there." Kate closed her eyes, extending her quantum awareness. She could feel them now, the Arctians' presence in the quantum field. Their perfect, crystalline minds were like shards of ice in the quantum foam of reality. But there was something else. Her eyes snapped open. "They're afraid." "Of what?" Matthews demanded. "They just took out our largest off-world colony without a fight." "Of us. The quantum sensitives." She turned to Stone, seeing the same realization in his eyes. "They're quantum signatures. They're pulling away from humans like us. We make them uncomfortable, uncertain." Stone nodded slowly. "Because we're both order and chaos, physical and quantum. We're everything they've tried to eliminate from themselves." "And that," Kate said, "a plan already forming, is exactly how we're going to beat them." The lights flickered as another quantum shockwave rippled through reality. 5 hours and counting until the Arctians' deadline. Humanity's future would be decided not by traditional weapons, but by those few individuals who could dance between normal space and quantum reality. The war for human consciousness was about to begin. Mars Base Olympus wasn't on any official maps. Carved deep beneath the red planet's ice caps, the facility hummed with quantum energy that Kate could feel in her bones. 20 candidates stood before her in the main training chamber, each chosen from thousands of quantum sensitives discovered worldwide. Their nervous energy rippled through the quantum field like waves on a pond. Being able to sense quantum states isn't enough. Major Stone's voice echoed through the chamber as he paced before the recruits. The Orcs can do that. What makes us different is our chaos, our emotion, our humanity. He stopped, fixing them with an intense stare. Today, you learn to weaponize that difference. Training dummies made of crystalline material, salvaged from the Pluto attack, stood at the far end of the room. Kate monitored the quantum field readings as Stone continued. Traditional martial arts focus on the flow of energy through the body. We're taking that to the quantum level. Your enemy exists in multiple states simultaneously. So must you. A young recruit raised her hand. Sir, the briefing mentioned quantum phasing, but the equations. Forget the equations, Kate interrupted, stepping forward. That's what the Orcs rely on. Pure logic, pure math. Watch. She closed her eyes, letting her consciousness expand into the quantum field. The world shifted, becoming a symphony of probabilities. When she opened her eyes, her hand passed straight through the nearest training dummy. The crystalline material shrieked in protest at her quantum interference. Holy shit, someone whispered. That's nothing, Stone said. He moved like liquid lightning, his form blurring as he shifted through quantum states. 3 dummies shattered in quick succession, their crystalline matrices disrupted by his quantum-enhanced strikes. Your turn, he told the stunned recruits. Pair up, feel the field. Don't think. Feel. The next few hours were chaos. Some recruits could barely maintain quantum awareness. Others showed promising control but lacked precision. Kate moved among them, adjusting techniques, while Stone demonstrated advanced maneuvers that seemed to defy physics itself. Then it happened. Help! A young recruit, Sarah Martinez, was panicking. Her quantum signature was spiraling out of control. I can't turn it off. Before Kate could reach her, Martinez phased completely out of normal space-time. Her body became transparent, then vanished entirely. Nobody move, Stone ordered. Kate could feel him extending his quantum senses, searching. She did the same, and together they traced Martinez's quantum signature through probability space. She's everywhere at once, Kate muttered. The fear is amplifying her quantum state. Stone nodded. Martinez, he called out. Stop trying to control it. Feel where you want to be. Let your instincts guide you. A moment later, Martinez reappeared, 20 feet away and on the ceiling. She dropped with a yelp, but Stone was already there, catching her while partially phased to match her quantum state. That, he announced to the wide-eyed recruits, was perfect. Kate's quantum sensors were going crazy. The readings are off the charts. Her emotional state didn't just enhance the quantum effect, it fundamentally changed how it worked. The Orcs couldn't do this if they tried. Stone helped Martinez to her feet, because they've eliminated emotion, imagination, intuition, everything that makes quantum manipulation an art instead of just a science. He addressed the group. That's why we'll win. Not because we're stronger or more advanced, but because we're messy, emotional, and unpredictable. Over the next weeks, the training intensified. The recruits learned to phase through solid matter, to exist in multiple states simultaneously, to disrupt quantum matrices with precisely calibrated emotional outbursts. They weren't just soldiers anymore. They were becoming something new. The first class of Quantum Knights was taking shape, each member a fusion of human consciousness and quantum possibility. In her private logs, Kate noted that the biggest breakthrough wasn't technological, it was psychological. The Knights were learning that their greatest weapons weren't their quantum powers, but their very human hearts. The Arctians had no idea what was coming. Knight Captain Amanda Hayes watched Luna City burn. From her vantage point, in the secret bunker beneath Mare Tranquillitatis, the crystalline formations consuming the domed cities looked almost beautiful, like deadly blue flowers blooming across the lunar surface. All civilians accounted for in the emergency shelters, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his quantum-enhanced battle suit humming softly. But the Arctians have control of the main quantum defense grid. Amanda nodded, feeling the enemy's presence through the quantum field. 5 knights against an alien armada. The odds were exactly as bad as they seemed. "Remember your training," she said to her team. "They expect logic. Give them chaos." Their suits activated with a crystalline chime, quantum engines synchronizing with their enhanced consciousness. The sensation was still strange, like wearing a second skin made of pure probability. "Team 2, take the North Quadrant," Amanda ordered. "Rodriguez, with me. Mission clock starts now." They phased through the bunker's walls, emerging onto the lunar surface. Above them, Arctian ships hung like geometric snowflakes against the star field. Amanda could feel their quantum sensors sweeping the area, looking for threats they understood. They weren't prepared for what humanity had become. The first alarm went up when Rodriguez hit the perimeter defense. He didn't try to hack it or destroy it. He danced with it, his emotional state creating quantum interference patterns that made the Arctian systems glitch in confusion. Amanda used the distraction to phase straight through the main defense tower. Inside, crystalline beings moved with perfect, emotionless precision. Their bodies were works of art, complex lattices of living quantum mathematics. She announced her presence with a battle cry that rippled through quantum space. The Arctians turned, their crystalline forms vibrating with alarm, their weapons charged with quantum energy. "Now," Amanda shouted. Her knights struck from multiple probability states simultaneously. The training paid off as they merged human martial arts with quantum manipulation. Rodriguez's quantum-enhanced roundhouse kick shattered 3 Arctians. Sarah Martinez, who had once feared her power, now wielded it like a virtuoso, her quantum state shifting so fast she appeared to be in 5 places at once. But it was Amanda who delivered the decisive blow. As the Arctians attempted to coordinate their defense, she did something they considered impossible. She pushed her emotional state to its peak while maintaining perfect quantum control. The resulting quantum feedback loop cascaded through their neural networks. The aliens screamed in frequencies that existed in multiple dimensions. Their perfect crystalline minds couldn't handle the chaos of raw human emotion filtered through quantum space. Command protocols shattered. Defense systems turned on their masters, interpreting their rigid order as an invasive threat. "Main grid is ours," Rodriguez called out triumphantly. Amanda didn't waste time celebrating. Reversed the crystallization process. Now, her team worked with practiced precision, using the captured grid to unravel the Arctian conversion engines. Slowly, the crystalline flowers consuming Luna City began to recede. The quantum field rippled with the change, and Amanda felt the moment the tide turned. The Arctian ships above them began to retreat, their perfect formation breaking for the first time. They hadn't just lost a battle. They'd encountered something that challenged their entire understanding of existence. "Command, this is Knight Captain Hayes," Amanda transmitted. "Luna Base is secured." Repeat, "Luna Base is secured. The quantum defense grid is back under human control." Back in the Mare Tranquillitatis bunker, she watched her team help survivors emerge from the shelters. Their faces showed the same mix of fear and awe that Amanda had felt when she first discovered her abilities. But now there was something else too. Hope. "Ma'am," Rodriguez approached, his battle suit powering down. "Intelligence reports the Arctians are pulling back throughout the solar system. They're regrouping." Amanda nodded. This was just the beginning. The Arctians would be back, with new tactics, new defenses. But humanity had shown them something they'd never seen in their conquests of 12 other worlds: quantum manipulation fueled by emotion, by intuition, by the beautiful chaos of the human spirit. "Let them come," she said, watching Earth rise over the lunar horizon. "We'll show them what knights can do." Knight Lieutenant Michael Anderson crouched in the shadows of an abandoned skyscraper in New Shanghai, his quantum senses stretched to their limits. Below, the city's once bustling financial district had become a maze of quantum distortions. The Arxian infiltrators were getting better at mimicry. Their crystalline forms could now approximate human shapes almost perfectly. Almost. "Contact," whispered Specialist Wei through their quantum-encrypted comlink. 3 signatures, moving through the quantum field like. Something's off about their pattern. Michael felt it too. The infiltrators' quantum signatures were too perfect, too ordered. Real humans, even non-sensitives, had chaotic quantum patterns that fluctuated with their emotions. These were like photograph copies, accurate but static. "They're hunting us," Torres said from her position 2 buildings over, "using our own quantum grid to track night movements." Michael watched as one of the infiltrators shape-shifted, its crystalline structure flowing like liquid mercury until it perfectly mimicked a human pedestrian. The sight made his skin crawl. "Time to spring the trap," he sub-vocalized. "Execute pattern chaos." His team moved with practiced precision that belied their true strategy. On the surface, their quantum signatures projected textbook military formations. Underground, through the city's maintenance tunnels, their true selves moved in patterns that would have given an Arxian mathematician an aneurysm. The infiltrators took the bait, moving to intercept what they thought was the Knight's main force. Michael allowed himself a grim smile. His sister Kate had always said he had a gift for tactical deception. Time to prove it. Now. The real attack came from 6 directions simultaneously, each Knight projecting quantum interference patterns that clashed with the infiltrators' perfect symmetry. The aliens' disguises shattered, revealing their true crystalline forms. But the infiltrators had surprises of their own. One transformed into a living quantum weapon, firing beams of coherent probability that could erase a person from multiple timelines at once. Another became a swarm of nanoscale crystals, each one capable of quantum tunneling. "They're adapting," Torres called out, barely dodging a quantum beam that left probability shadows in its wake. Michael phase shifted through 3 quantum states, his mind racing. The Arxians were learning, evolving. Each encounter with human chaos taught them new tricks. But as he watched one infiltrator attempt to mirror Wei's erratic fighting style, he noticed something crucial. "They can't maintain it," he shouted. "The chaos. It's burning out their neural networks. Push harder." His team responded instantly, each Knight deliberately amplifying the emotional aspects of their quantum manipulation. Wei let her excitement fuel impossible maneuvers. Torres channeled her anger into quantum disruption fields. Michael himself drew on his deep-seated need to protect, to live up to his sister's legacy. The effect on the infiltrators was catastrophic. Their perfect crystalline minds couldn't handle the sustained exposure to emotional quantum chaos. One by one, their forms destabilized, shattering into inert crystals. In the aftermath, as his team secured the area, Michael studied the fallen crystals. Within their structure, he could see patterns of degradation that told a fascinating story. "Command, this is Anderson," he transmitted. "You need to see this. We've confirmed why they fear us." Hours later, in a secure quantum lab beneath the city, Kate analyzed her brother's findings. Her expression shifted from concentration to astonishment. "It's not just that they can't handle chaos," she explained to the assembled Knights. "Their entire consciousness is built on quantum certainty. Human emotion doesn't just disrupt their quantum fields, it introduces uncertainty into their very thought processes. We're not just fighting their bodies, we're fighting their fundamental nature." Michael nodded. "That's why they want to convert us rather than just kill us. We represent everything they've spent millennia trying to eliminate from themselves. And that's why they'll lose," Torres added, her quantum aura flickering with conviction. "They're fighting to eliminate chaos. We're fighting to protect it." As if to emphasize her point, Quantum alerts lit up across the command center. More infiltrators detected, more battles to come. But now they knew the truth. The Arctians weren't just fighting humans, they were fighting the very essence of humanity itself. And that was a war they couldn't win. Deep in Arxian space, aboard a stealth transport masking its quantum signature, Michael Anderson was about to make first contact of an entirely different kind. The vessel's hull vibrated with suppressed quantum energy as they approached what looked like an abandoned mining outpost orbiting a dead star. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Torres whispered, her enhanced senses probing the void. They're different. Not Arxian, not human. That's the point, Michael replied, adjusting his quantum dampeners. The intel had come through bizarre channels, quantum fluctuations in supposedly dead communication networks, patterns that even the Arctians had missed. A soft chime echoed through their consciousness, the quantum equivalent of a doorbell. A voice followed, speaking in pure quantum frequencies that their enhanced minds translated. The children of Earth come at last. Enter, quickly. The airlock cycled, and Michael's team found themselves face to face with the resistance. The chamber was filled with beings from across the galaxy, some humanoid, others utterly alien. But they all shared one thing: quantum patterns that sang with barely controlled chaos. Their leader stepped forward, a towering entity with iridescent scales and 4 arms. I am Zexret, last quantum sage of the Viridian Collective. The being's quantum signature pulsed with suppressed power. We have watched your battles against the crystal mind. You fight as we once did, before we fell. Michael extended both his hand and his quantum consciousness in greeting. The resulting resonance made the air shimmer. Lieutenant Michael Anderson, Earth Defense Force. We didn't know there were others. Few survive, another alien added, this one seemingly made of living gas. The Arctians are thorough. They find those of us who can touch the quantum realm, convert or kill us first. The rest follow. But you survived, Torres observed. Zexret's scales shifted color. At great cost. Scattered, hiding, watching as our worlds became crystal gardens. But now, the alien's quantum signature flared with something Michael recognized immediately: hope. You've given us a chance, Zexret continued. The Arctians never expected quantum manipulation driven by emotion. They cannot comprehend it, cannot counter it. For the first time in millennia, they know fear. Michael shared a look with his team. We're not just here to talk, are we? No. Zexret led them deeper into the station. We have others like us, quantum sensitives from 12 worlds. Hiding, but ready. We need your chaos, your emotion, your humanity. Teach us to fight as you do. The chamber they entered took Michael's breath away. Dozens of aliens, each practicing quantum manipulation. But their techniques were rigid, controlled, like they were fighting their own natures. Watch, Michael said. He shifted into a combat stance, letting his quantum field resonate with pure, human emotion. Hope, fear, determination, love. The aliens gasped as his power levels spiked. You control it so easily, one whispered. That's the secret, Torres added, demonstrating her own technique. Don't control it. Feel it. The quantum realm responds to consciousness, and consciousness isn't just logic. It's everything we are. Over the next hours, they shared techniques. Each species had their own unique approach to quantum manipulation. The gaseous aliens could distribute their consciousness across quantum probability clouds. The crystalline rebels who had escaped Arxian conversion could redirect quantum energy through their bodies. Combined with human emotional resonance, these techniques became something entirely new. They'll detect us eventually, Zexret warned as they concluded another training session. This much quantum chaos cannot be hidden forever. Michael smiled. We're counting on it. Every converted world has survivors like you. Every population has hidden quantum sensitives. We're not just building a resistance, We're building a quantum underground railroad. And when the time comes, Torres added, her quantum field harmonizing with their new allies, we'll show the Arctians that the galaxy doesn't belong to order alone. Chaos, emotion, diversity. These aren't weaknesses to be purged. They are weapons. Dixret finished, finally understanding, and we shall wield them together. As if in response, their combined quantum signatures created patterns of impossible beauty, order and chaos dancing together in perfect, imperfect harmony. The revolution had begun, and it would resonate across every quantum frequency in the galaxy. The Arctians had created an empire of perfect crystal. They were about to learn that the most beautiful crystals are born in chaos. The Arctian armada emerged from quantum space like a crystalline tsunami, thousands of ships arranged in perfect geometric patterns. Earth's orbital defense platforms registered the largest quantum event ever detected. The Arctians had committed their entire fleet. In the Quantum Knights command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Kate Anderson watched the holographic display with growing dread. They're not just here to conquer, she said. This is extinction-level deployment. Major Derek Stone stood beside her, his battlesuit already humming with power. Then they die trying. He turned to address the assembled knights, their quantum signatures burning bright with anticipation. This is what we've trained for, 200 of us against their armada. They think the numbers make victory impossible. They're about to learn about human probability, Knight Captain Hayes added with a grim smile. The quantum alerts screamed as the first wave of Arctian ships began their attack. Crystalline conversion beams lanced down from orbit, beginning the systematic transformation of Earth's surface. All Knights, execute Operation Chaos Storm, Stone commanded. And remember, we're not alone. Across Earth's surface, 200 quantum knights launched into action. They moved like living lightning, their quantum-enhanced bodies phasing between states of existence. Each carried a piece of new technology. Quantum resonators developed with their alien allies, designed to amplify emotional energy into weapon-grade chaos. The battle erupted across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Knights engaged Arctian forces in normal space, quantum space, and probability fields in between. Amanda Hayes led a squad straight up through the atmosphere, their quantum fields protecting them from re-entry heat as they tore into the enemy's perfect formation. In New York, Michael Anderson's team deployed their secret weapon, quantum-sensitive aliens from a dozen worlds, each adding their unique abilities to the chaos. The Arctians' perfect tactical calculations shattered against attacks they couldn't predict or comprehend. But the enemy adapted quickly. Their ships began emitting quantum-dampening fields, trying to force reality into rigid mathematical patterns. Knights fell as their powers were suppressed, their quantum connections severed. "We're losing the orbital platforms," Kate reported, her voice tight. "They're pushing through." A massive explosion rocked the command center as an Arctian capital ship quantum tunneled directly above their mountain base. Stone made a split-second decision. "Kate," he said, his quantum aura flaring, "remember what you discovered about their neural networks. About quantum feedback loops." Her eyes widened. "Direct? No. The calculations. It would take a quantum computer the size of a planet to generate that kind of cascade." He smiled. "Good thing I'm not a computer." He turned to his second-in-command. "Hayes, you have tactical command. Keep them busy." Before anyone could stop him, Stone quantum shifted directly into the heart of the Arctian fleet. His consciousness expanded, touching every crystalline ship, every alien mind. Then he did something that defied every law of quantum physics. He turned his entire being into pure emotional energy. Love, hate, fear, hope, joy, anger, a lifetime of human feelings amplified through quantum space. The Arctian fleet recoiled as if struck. Their perfect crystalline minds, evolved to eliminate emotion, were overwhelmed by the raw chaos of human consciousness. Stone's sacrifice created a cascading quantum resonance that shattered the enemy's command and control. Thousands of ships lost coherence simultaneously, their crews unable to process the emotional overflow. But he had given Earth's defenders more than chaos. In that moment of connection, every quantum-sensitive being on and above Earth felt Stone's final gift: pure, unfiltered human defiance. The kind that stares into extinction and says, "Not today." The knights surged forward, their powers amplified by shared emotion. Allied aliens added their own chaos to the mix. The perfect geometric formations of the Archean fleet collapsed into crystalline debris. In the command center, Kate wiped tears from her eyes as she watched humanity's greatest victory unfold. Stone was gone, but his sacrifice had proven what they had known all along. The universe wasn't meant for perfect order. It was meant for beautiful chaos. The battle wasn't over, but its tide had turned. Earth would survive, and the age of crystal perfection was about to shatter against the strength of the human spirit. 1 month after the Battle of Earth, Kate Anderson stood in the ruins of the Archean flagship, now a memorial orbiting Earth like a crystalline monument. The quantum resonance of Stone's sacrifice still echoed through its shattered corridors, a reminder of what humanity had gained and lost. "The conversion engines are completely inert," Michael reported, his quantum senses probing the wreckage. Early estimates suggest 90% of their fleet was destroyed or disabled. The rest retreated beyond the galaxy's edge. Kate nodded, her hand touching a crystalline wall that still hummed with fading quantum energies. "And the converted worlds?" "Liberation efforts are underway," Knight Captain Hayes answered, approaching with Zexret and a delegation of alien quantum sensitives. The Archeans' control systems collapsed when their central consciousness shattered. Billions are awakening from crystal stasis. The alien sage's scales rippled with emotion, a sight that would have been impossible months ago. "Many of my people remember nothing of their imprisonment. Others remember everything. All must learn to feel again, to embrace the chaos they were taught to fear." "That's why we're here," Kate said, turning to face the assembled group. The chamber they stood in had once been the Archean command center. Now it would serve a different purpose. "Welcome to the first meeting of the Galactic Concordat," she announced. "Not an empire of crystal and mathematics, but an alliance of free beings who understand that true strength comes from diversity. Of thought, of emotion, of existence itself." Representatives from all 12 formerly conquered species gathered around a quantum holographic display of the galaxy. Each brought their own unique perspective on quantum manipulation, their own cultural understanding of the balance between order and chaos. "The Knights will serve as peacekeepers," Hayes explained, "but more importantly, as teachers. Every species has quantum sensitives. Rather than suppress them, we'll help them develop their gifts. And learn from them in return," Michael added. "Each world's quantum techniques are unique. Combined with human emotional resonance, the possibilities are endless." Kate activated the quantum display, showing the first training facilities already under construction on liberated worlds. "We're not just rebuilding, we're evolving." The Archeans thought emotion and chaos were weaknesses to be eliminated. They never understood that the universe itself is built on uncertainty, on possibility, on change. They sought to impose perfect order, Zexret observed, and in doing so, violated the deepest law of existence. That order and chaos must dance together. A young knight, Sarah Martinez, who had once feared her own power, stepped forward. Major Stone understood that. In his final moment, he showed us all that our greatest strength isn't our quantum abilities. It's our capacity to feel, to change, to grow. Kate smiled, remembering Stone's last gift, that pulse of pure human emotion that had shattered an empire. "The quantum realm responds to consciousness," she said, "not just logical, ordered consciousness, but the full spectrum of thought and feeling. That's what the Knights will teach." The chamber hummed with combined quantum energies as human and alien sensitives joined their powers in a demonstration of this new philosophy: order and chaos, logic and emotion, certainty and possibility. all flowing together in patterns of impossible beauty. There will be challenges, Hayes warned. Some Arctians survived. They'll try to rebuild, to restore their version of perfect order. And there are other threats out there, in the spaces between quantum states. Let them come, Michael said, his quantum aura pulsing with confident determination. We're ready. Kate looked out at Earth shining below them, then at the stars beyond. Each one now a beacon of possibility rather than a target for conversion. The age of crystal perfection was over. The age of quantum harmony had begun. The universe isn't a problem to be solved, she said, echoing Stone's words from their first training session. It's a mystery to be experienced, a song to be sung, a dance to be danced. And we're all learning the steps together. Around them, the quantum realm hummed in agreement, its infinite possibilities stretching out before them like a road made of starlight and dreams. The nights had begun as humanity's secret weapon. They had become something far greater, teachers of a new way, guardians of a balance as old as reality itself. And somewhere, in the quantum probability waves that underlie all existence, Major Derek Stone smiled.